never use. I love those dumb ideas. It was a constant reminder for me to do better. Now I got to write down all those dumb ideas all over again. Those are the rules. One particular section had some stand-up jokes in there. Well, there goes my 5-minute set that I've been working on about wizards, vertigo, and chocobos.
I don't know what the last one is.
I don't know what that is either. You're a dick, but I still love you.
Aww.
Okay.
That's sweet.
He still loves you, Karen.
I hope he... I know he does. I hope he gets his backpack back.
Back. Okay, next, Denai Guerrera, in our Q&A session with her, told us that she based some of Michonne on women in a play that she wrote a few years ago called Eclipsed, which is about women coping with civil war in Liberia. Look that up. And in an interview with Vulture.com earlier this year, she said, quote, I had been to Liberia and it had become a horror show because the rules were gone. The structures were gone. It was a free-for-all. And these women she read about, quote, they were fierce and they were African and they had AK-47s and they had cute little outfits on at the same time. And they were really scary chicks. When I saw The Walking Dead and I started to read about the show, I said, oh, she's one of them chicks.
She is from Zimbabwe.
Cool. She's beautiful too.
Yeah, she is.
And
yeah,
she shows up late. But that's okay. Yeah, I love.
We
talking
still
to
love her.
Yeah. And more. This is like Stephen Yun week, but there was an interview with Stephen Yun at HollywoodReporter.com. I don't think this is very spoilery. No, it's not. They say the governor is just outside the prison. How long has he been spying on the group? He says, I'm not sure. He's always had an idea where the prison was because he may have been there before. Maybe he needed to regroup. Maybe he needed to figure something out. We shall see. They say, what would be wrong? Would we be wrong to speculate that maybe the governor was the one feeding mice to walkers to draw the group out of the prison? Our theory is that he and Bob are working together. He says, I don't think that would be wrong. That would definitely be a possibility. Every angle is a possibility on this show. Now that we saw the governor so close to the prison, I'm kind of wondering that too, actually.
Like maybe he has a man inside? Maybe Bob's his man?
No, but maybe he's the one who was feeding
the
them.
rats. But the rats were in the prison side of the fence. So he'd have to slip the rats through the fence. It kind of wouldn't make sense, but maybe.
So somebody was inside feeding them on the outside.
Yeah, because I think the rats were inside the prison.
So he would need a man inside.
Yeah, and maybe he had a man inside. Maybe he had somebody inside.
But yeah, I just had assumed it was Lizzie, but now that they've been having problems with all these walkers grouping next to the fence. Maybe that was him somehow. Yeah, with a man inside trying to sabotage it.
Maybe he has somebody on the inside working. That'd be awful if that were the case. And
then last thing they say, there are 2 governor-focused episodes coming up. What can we expect? How has the governor changed? He says the 2 governor episodes are completely necessary. This is a world-building season, and those 2 episodes are going to contribute to that heavily. I don't really know what that means, but it's intriguing.
World-building.
Like I said, there'll be a little bit more news in the next week on the Walking Dead section, but for now, we'll take a little break. Stay with us. Back, and I want to spend a little bit of time talking about our experience at Walker Stalker Con.
Yeah.
Because it was amazingly awesome.
It was.
And the first thing I want to say is just kudos to James and Eric for putting that on.
Yeah.
The 2 guys who started a Walking Dead podcast about a year ago, and they just pulled this thing off. Yep. It's amazing.
Quickly, too.
And not only was it was the almost the whole cast. I mean, we have our picture right up here on the wall with everyone in the cast.
Yeah.
Michonne, Sarah Wayne Callies, Lori, Rick, Daryl, Greg Nicotero. I mean, everybody amazing. So I'm just really honored that they asked us to be a part of it.
Yeah.
So if you guys happen to be listening, thank you.
Thank you.
Very cool. So what were you like? what are your highlights?
Hanging out with Pialani and Gracie and Eric and Julie
for dinner,
for dinners, and just like hanging out. At the very beginning on Friday, Gracie and I walked around the expo, and the expo was awesome. It was great, and
a lot of different things for sale that were really cool. Like I wouldn't think it would like be that cool, but it was cool.
Great. And they had this one vendor who had a mock-up of Daryl's motorcycle, his chopper,
which you guys reported about, and I heard you say, I wonder if that was the same guy, and I'm like, yeah, that's why I put it in there.
And you could sit on the chopper and get your picture taken with a crossbow and a poncho, and at one point Greasy was posing and pointing the crossbow at me, and I was cracking up and thinking, wow, if this is worth it just for this moment, because it was so funny. And having people come up to us, and I loved meeting the actors. They were all so gracious. They really were. And I mean,
Mr. Blog and Julie, they were the other ones that were there.
Yeah, I said Mr. Blog and Julie. Them, yeah, Eric and Julie.
Yeah, the actors.
The actors were very gracious. Everyone says that, but it's really true. They were wonderful,
except for Zach Galligan. He was a dick.
Was he?
Yes.
Oh, because he snubbed you at the bar.
Yeah, and then I won't say what else, but that wasn't the only thing. That's the only thing from my own perspective.
And I have to also mention that we had a panel with some professors from Emory University discussing ethics of Zombieland. And man, those guys were incredible. So that was great. If anybody wants to get schooled, go on to where I think some of these are being posted now, and you can go back and you can watch the panels.
Yeah. And if we do it again, they're going to have the one bad thing was the panel room was far away from the convention floor and hard to find. And so some of the panels weren't as well attended as we would have liked. But if they are doing it again, they're going to put the panel room close to the convention floor. And so if we're involved, which they would like us to be, I want to have the zombie ethics panel again. And I think more people will stumble into it and not have it scheduled opposite Greg Nicotero, which probably didn't help attendance.
Did not
but
help.
Even with all that, there were still a good number of people in there.
I loved it.
Yeah, it was really good. And everybody who went to it liked it too.
They're just really cool moments. Like, I mean, even the whole thing about a convention like that is that you can walk past the line at the Starbucks in the lobby, and there's Scott Wilson, getting a latte. And, you can go up an escalator, and, there's Giancarlo Esposito. I mean, Eric saw him on the escalator and stuff like that. It's just cool stuff. You can just bump into all these great people.
Yeah. And they seem to, for the most part, really be enjoying it themselves too.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't like that intimate of an atmosphere if it seemed like they were uncomfortable with being approached all the time. But they're like, this is a con for zombies and Walking Dead, so we're going to be open to it. And they were really sweet. And
a lot of our listeners approached us, and I really liked that. That was really, really awesome.
We had a meet up at Hard Rock, and another of my favorite things about the weekend was getting to meet and get to know Chris and Jason from Talking Dead, and Jim and Aaron from Watching Dead, and Eric too. And I'd met James before, but Eric from Walker Stalkers. And we had a podcast meetup with all those guys, and a lot of listeners came, and it was so good to meet you guys. David Zapanta Jamilton, I forgot your name, but it was fun. That's her Facebook name, but it was fun to talk to her, and she's super cute. And Cindy Throckmonster, Leanne, and Duncan was awesome, and Jeff Comlink was there. Michael and Jasmine from Walking Dead Girl. Did you talk to them?
They're so nice.
Yeah, they were super cool. Man, she's great. Awesome too.
Yeah, she is.
I mean, they're both cool, but I just am really impressed with how great she is at podcasting at such a young age.
Yep.
Shelly and her friend who came to the zombie bash with moss all over her face.
Yeah.
And Shelly, who had called in before, and her daughter made a sound that sounded like a zombie cow. But anyway, it was really fun to talk to them. So yeah, me too. It was so fun to talk to the listeners. And if we do another one of these and we have a meetup, I'd love to see more of you guys there.
And Emma Loggins helped us throughout the entire time, and she was wonderful.
Sweet. She does fanbolt.com.
Yep.
She introed us every time. And now it's Jason and Karen of the Walking Dead cast. And I was like, that's very cool and seems so wrong.
Hey.
Hi. I by the way, I love that dinner too that we had because it was so nice. I mean, monitoring the panels was the highlight for me, but it also was a lot of work and very intense, and it was nice to just go be with friends like in a warm, safe, loving place afterwards.
Yeah, exactly. Although I have to say the whole convention felt like it was like one big love fest.
Yeah. So when we were up on stage, you didn't feel like any like fear of being judged or something like that?
No, but I definitely felt like I wanted to be on, and I was exhausted at the end. I was like that. I spent every penny of energy I had. I was done. Last week was a rough week.
Yeah, me too. Like I after I did 12 of those, by the way, 12 panels. And after the 12th one, I was going to go watch some more panels from people I had met. Jonathan from Daily Dead did one, and Emma Loggins, but I just crashed out for hours in my room instead. I felt like I kind of earned it. Yeah. But the panels were so cool. Yeah, I mean, we thank you to Eric. He made it possible for us to do Denai Guerrera and Stephen Yun, and Arnie Singleton was awesome.
Yulin Womble
was amazing, and one of my favorites, Melissa Hutchinson, who is the voice of Clementine.
Yes.
In the Walking Dead game. She was our first one and really kicked it off right. Yeah. She was really cool and warm and fun to talk to.
Arnie Singleton did a little dance.
He did I wasn't totally focused in on what he was doing because we were at an odd angle and I was looking at my notes, but there's a YouTube video of it and it was just really good Michael Jackson thrill because somebody asked him what would the zombie T-Dog be like.
Yeah.
He didn't know what to do at first, and then he started to do it like and then all of a sudden he bust out in his Michael Jackson moves. It was perfect. And his panel was great because he was very emotional and he cried at one point talking about his mother who died when he was 18, but he was also very like funny and charming and everything.
Yeah. God, it's so worth it. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I want to go back.
And I had a couple more highlights. Giancarlo Esposito was awesome in his panel. What I remember the most is I got there a little later than I wanted to, go backstage, and there's you, I forget if he was sitting, but you're like, I love you so much, and you're the best, and I'm Breaking Bad is my favorite show. And
I was totally getting out of my system behind the stage. I told him, I'm like, look, I just want to geek out on you a little bit behind the stage, so I won't do it when we get out there. Yeah, he's like, okay.
Okay, cool. And then we get out, and he seemed a little slow to warm up, but once he did, he was on fire. And at the very end, he started talking about wanting better things for the world and to be environmentally correct. And Karen, you just bought this like hemp bag or something, environmental.
It was a little tote bag that says, I fucking recycle.
Okay, awesome. That's great. I didn't know it said that. That's so cool. So you gave it to him as a gift and he loved it. And he was like activated because he had such a great panel. And then you guys like totally connected on, you told him you were a water conservation specialist. Yeah. And I was really glad to see, like, he was like, oh, that's great.
He's involved with an organization called Water for People. And at least I think it's Water for People is the one he's involved with. And oh God, he's so great. He just wants to save the world. And God, I love that guy.
Yeah, that was good. And then he looked over at me and he goes, you keep on doing what you're doing, man. And I'm like, writing manuals for a tech company? Or
okay.
Or this. No, I thought it was awesome that he said that. And
he's very gracious.
I don't know if James and Eric will play that one because it's not Walking Dead related. They're playing some of the panels as podcast episodes.
Oh, are they?
Yeah.
Oh.
But I'll see if I can get it to put up somewhere or something because it was great. And if you're a Breaking Bad fan, somebody asked him about his background in Chile. Mr. Blog asked him that actually, and he gave a full explanation of what he thought it was
great,
which was pretty cool of him. But one of my favorite, I just remember this, one of my very favorite moments of the whole thing was during the Stephen Yun thing. Well, one was when somebody asked him how he would like Stephen Yun to go, or Glenn to go out.
Yes.
Remember that?
And he went on for about 5 Yeah, it was awesome.
About being in an airplane and falling out and the zombies were where his parachute and
taking out zombies while he's falling.
He gets to the ground and there's a team of like bikini women ready to meet him because he's so awesome. And all stuff like that.
It was great.
But this is another one that part that I really liked here.
We have time for a couple more questions, but before we do, I want to ask you if permission for something. I think that this is a rare occasion to have this many people in one room who will indulge my love for zombie sounds. So would it be all right if we all did a group zombie sound together? Is that cool?
Nice.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay, well, let me count to 3.
We're going to record it.
One.
Hold on.
1, 2, 3. Thank you.
I like yours.
I love that.
That's great.
I wonder if that's up there in like the most people in one place to ever do a zombie sound.
Hey, maybe
there's like 1,000 people in there.
Maybe we got the world record.
Huh?
Yeah,
we should have somebody from. Yeah, maybe we can do that next time.
We've got it. We've got it on.
Do that. Like if we do another one, make it more official. Get Guinness there and say we're going to set the world record for the most people in one room to do a zombie sound.
Is there a record?
If you call them, they'll make one. Or sometimes because they make new.
Yeah.
You know?
I like it.
So wait, now James and Eric have announced that they're going to do 2 next year. One in the spring. I don't think they've said the city yet. I'm not sure. I know what they're looking at, and I'm really excited, but I don't want to say in case they haven't said. And then one in Atlanta. Would you go to either of those?
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe?
Yeah.
What? How will you decide whether you're going to go?
Good thing you're not putting me on the spot.
Oh, am I putting you on the spot? Okay, we can move on. I just thought it would be cool to know whether you're into it or not, but you don't want to say.
No, I don't want to say. I probably will, but you know me. I'm going to decide at the last minute, girl.
Oh, you can't decide at the last minute. There's a lot of preparation.
I know. Well, but like at last minute, I mean like 2 months, 3 months ahead of time.
Oh, okay. Okay. So you won't know until a few months ahead of time. Okay.
Hi, Pialani, baby.
I think it's in the spring.
Pialani, Gracie, Eric, if you're there, I will go.
Yeah, if you don't do it, it's not going to be the same.
Just saying right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's move on to listener moans, groans, and grunts.
Brains.
Okay, so we got some emails and some calls. You want to start?
Yeah, this one comes from Jeffrey, who writes, "In this world, abandonment is crueler than murder. I think Daryl feels this. He was abandoned by Merle when younger, and he now has an identity and a sense of purpose with the group. Daryl tells Bob, 'You won't be standing alone.' And in season 3, Andrea said before she died, 'No one can make it alone now.' And Daryl replied, 'I never could.' So, what do you think Daryl's reaction will be when Rick tells him the truth about what happened to Carol? Will Rick and Daryl's relationship change as a result? I have 2 words, hell and yes.
Yeah, I think that's a big part of what's happening here is there's seeds sown for major conflict between Daryl and Rick.
But you know what? I mean, Rick can't also tell Daryl, look, if I brought her back here and Tyrese got a hold of her, he would be really, really pissed off. So in a way, he kind of saved her bacon. I don't know.
I don't think Daryl's going to go for that. Like when, you know, in the first season when they came back without Merle, he was, what are you doing with my brother? You know?
Yeah. Well, I don't know.
Well, he was all coked up and trying to kill people on the roof.
Right. There's a difference between leaving the crazy guy up in the roof because you have to, as opposed to, you know, banishing or, you know, giving her all the supplies and sending her out with a full tank of gas in a car. I don't know.
Yeah, I guess that's one difference. That's for sure. Because they definitely left Merle in a worse off situation, handcuffed to the roof. Okay, this one's from Rich. Rick essentially led Carol to do what she did. Sophia was with Rick when he left her in the stream while he was trying to save her. She disappeared, was bitten, and died by Rick's hand as she walked out of the barn. Had Rick not left Sophia, she could still be alive, and Carol most likely would not be the person she's become today. I agree with that.
Yeah, exactly.
I think that was a dumb thing of him to do back then.
Yeah, and she'd still be a zombie today.
No, not that part. Not the shooting, the leaving.
No, I agree. Evan writes, I love that Rick fights off the zombies, knows to call in and depend on Carl for assistance, encourages Maggie to go to the cell block after they hear the gunshots, and finally shares fresh peas from the pod with Carl in the aftermath. He really has returned from Crazy Town in a healthy way and is living Carol's advice. You can be a farmer, you just can't, you can't just be a farmer, as he engages as defender, leader, and father too. Another observation about Rick is that although he is willing to again assume some responsibilities of leadership, he need not become the Rick-tator again. He asks Herschel for his opinion about Carol, and I think tactically wanted Maggie's feedback too. Tacitly wanted her opinion too. Not only is this more democratic, but it also keeps the weight of responsibility from weighing too heavily upon him alone. Further, he no longer needs to portray the persona of infallible, omniscient, fearless leader. Once again, he has allowed his failings, fears, foibles, and most important, his own humanity. Wow. Evan, you are a good writer.
Yeah, I think you're right on, except it was soybeans, not peas. But otherwise...
It was? Those weren't sugar snap peas?
Oh, were they? What's a sugar snap pea? I mean, peas are all round.
Peas
sugar
in a
snap peas are
pond.
round, right?
Peas in a
Yeah,
pod.
soybeans are bean-shaped. I think it was a soybean. I don't know. We'll have to go back and look. Everyone's saying peas, but I looked. Yeah, I don't have anything to add to that. That was a great email. I agree. Okay, this next one's from Jesus or Jesus. Did you decide? Did you guys feel like this episode was predictable? I didn't feel like any of the main characters were in any danger. I really think the show needs to start killing characters we care about and bring back the fear of the first season. They need to bring new characters and make us care about them so we feel something when they die.
I couldn't disagree more, Jesus.
You're not going to call him Jesus?
No.
You might expect me to agree with that, but if they kill a character we really, really care about every episode, then there aren't going to be much more of them left. You know, they have to pace themselves on that, to put it bluntly. And they are working on making us care about new characters like Sasha and Herschel. Like, he's not that new, but even Bob, I'm curious about at least. He's a mess up, but yeah. Anyways, they have to pace themselves on that. And predictable, I was afraid for Sasha. I wasn't really afraid for anybody else though.
Yeah, agreed.
I think eventually they will kill someone that you really care about though, before the season's out.
No.
And I predict it's going to be Herschel.
No.
But we'll see.
I refuse.
It might be Carol. I also think that maybe Carol will come back and do some amazing
Something heroic
things.
and redeeming. And
And die kind of like Andrea.
God, I hope it's the governor. Please kill the governor, for God's sakes.
That's not, I don't think that's the idea.
Mark writes, I don't believe that Carol actually killed Karen and David. I think she's covering for Lizzie, who actually committed the acts. Carol most likely did indeed drag out the bodies and burn them, perhaps to erase evidence which would have incriminated Lizzie. Carol wants to protect Lizzie in a way that she could not protect her own daughter, Sophia. I don't think we should make too much of the flashback scene showing Carol's commission of the crime scene, since the scene was actually more of a depiction of Rick's mental reconstruction of the crime deduced from the evidence. I think we may still see the shocking actual event, Lizzie doing her best Norman Bates impression.
Yeah, I think that would be awesome if they had her just wigging out. But I feel like I have a small doubt about whether Carol did it, but it's very small, like 95% sure. What about you?
Yeah, I'm at 95.
Mm-hmm. But there's some things that are curious for sure. This is from Max. It might just be me, but I've decided I really don't like Rick Grimes. Selfish, arrogant, hypocritical. How dare he banish Carol for doing what she thought was right when his son murdered that kid? And wasn't he responsible for not picking up that backpacker in series 3? How callous was that, by the way?
Pretty callous.
It was totally callous. And I think that episode, it was clear, was a turning point in Rick's thinking. And that's when he decided, I'm not going to get cold and crazy and ruthless like Morgan. I'm going to be a human being who cares about other human beings. But it was too late by that point because the backpacker was dead. But it's true. He left that backpacker to die. Effectively, he killed that backpacker, and then he went and banished Carol for killing somebody too. So I agree he's kind of hypocritical there. But he's just changed his way of thinking.
It's rough in Zombieland. Darth Lala writes, "Hi, this is Rob."
Oh, that was his email. Sorry. I swear it said Darth Lala. I don't know.
Hi, this is Rob from Lowell, Massachusetts. Anyone consider that Carol may be a familiar face who helps us connect to the new group that will comprise the spin-off show? I believe she will move on to the new show as leader we've watched her become.
What do you think?
Yeah, maybe. Although I think it's more likely that the spin-off show is completely new characters. But yeah, maybe. Maybe Carol is the one character that connects the threads. Yeah, maybe.
I don't think so, because at least what they've been saying is they really don't know for sure what it's going to be about yet. And I think it's way too early for them to start planting seeds in the main series for something that they're so early in development with.
Right.
I'd be surprised.
It's not going to be happen for at least a year, right?
Yeah. It's supposed to come out, in 2015. This one's from Kirk. I understand from reading interviews with Kirkman that his premise is that in the world he created, zombies didn't exist in the popular culture like it does in ours. So that way they didn't know how to fight them initially. And as a result, they all come up with their own terminology. I get it. And I see many advantages from a storytelling point of view to that, but I miss hearing them called zombies in the show. I put this in here. He actually wrote this in response to something I'm going to read later, but I put it in because we got an iTunes review. It was 3 stars. And it was like, "Stop calling them zombies. They're called walkers." And I'm like, whatever, dude.
Sorry.
I'm going to slap you. Because that's Kirkman, said.
Yeah.
He calls them zombies. Everybody calls them zombies. Like Greg Nicotero, the king of creating zombies, calls them zombies. They are zombies, but they just don't call them that in the show because they don't know about zombies in the Walking Dead universe. So I will continue to call them zombies.
Sorry.
Unless I'm calling them Zeds.
Sorry, Kirk. Wait.
No, that's not Kirk. Kirk's the guy who drew the Walking Dead Hawaii thing.
Love you, Kirk.
Yeah, we love Kirk.
We love Kirk.
Okay, let's go into some back and forth.
Okay,
you go
this
first.
one comes from Drea, who writes, "Zombies versus fences. Fences lose every time. Herschel, you old awesome son of a bitch." I like
Stuart says, it might just be me, but the scene where Lizzie surprises Herschel taking Mr. Jacobson to a, quote, quieter place immediately reminded me of Cindy Lou Who watching the Grinch stealing the Christmas tree.
I'm just borrowing it to decorate it. Gracie Lou, who writes, "I think this was my favorite episode this season. It had everything: tension, emotion, action. Wow, props to the writer, Channing Powell."
Who hasn't, I don't think, written any other Walking Dead episode, but hopefully he'll write more.
Well done, Channing Powell.
Missy says, "What a great episode to showcase Scott Wilson's quiet grace as Herschel. I absolutely love this episode, and I'm finding this season so far to be the best yet. Not happy to see the governor return, but I predict his reappearance will lead to the final takedown of the rapidly disintegrating security situation at the prison. That'd be cool. I'm ready to see them on the run again. Would this mean the end of Herschel and meeting up with some new people? I don't see how that would be the end of Herschel because they have all their Hyundais and everything, so he can just ride with them."
Tom writes, "You think Michonne and Herschel are making us a spaghetti run? The man had a long day. Find him some pasta already. Completely broke my heart when Herschel broke down at the end." Agreed. But he was happy at the very, very end. He and Michonne were going on a road trip.
Yeah, sure, I'll go.
Let's
go. It'll be fun.
Zombie walker bodies.
Did I just say that? Natalie says, "It seems like I'm in the minority here, but this was probably my least favorite episode of the season. The expression 'same old shit, just a different day' comes to mind. More prison red shirts died, more main characters came close to death and were miraculously spared, more walkers sprung up at unexpected moments. Apart from the last 3 seconds of the episode, I felt that I could have skipped this episode and not missed any significant plot or character development. P.S. You think Michonne and Herschel are making a spaghetti run? The man had a long day. Find him some pasta already." Well, when I read this, I'm not sure about whether there was character development or plot development. I think there was character development for sure. But I think if you just forget about character development and plot, and even if you'd never seen another episode of this before and just watched it for the thrills, it was amazingly great. That's what I think. But everyone's allowed their
Even
opinion.
on its worst day, The Walking Dead is still better than 99.9% of what's on television right now.
That's true. But I just think, people who, if you evaluate a show based on whether it advanced the plot or the characters, then you're kind of missing the art of it sometimes,
Yeah, I don't need plot furtherment every single time.
Yeah.
But I do need to get me some serious, elements that I want. But they don't have to be the same elements every single episode. Yeah.
It is true. They've had like breakouts in the prison a couple of times now. Could start getting repetitive if they do it again.
They're gonna. I don't think they're gonna be long for that prison. Okay,
Yeah,
Jacob writes, "It's night, it's day, it's night inside, it's dusk outside, it's night, it's morning. I feel like I'm watching Plan 9 from outer space." It's funny.
Dan, who's above Jacob there, says, "My favorite episode of the season so far. The final shot made me damn near soil myself. Having said that, my only gripe was I didn't feel any sense of urgency in getting the drugs in there to help the sick. It was sort of like, oh, hi, Daryl, let's go see Rick and have a chat about Carol. Whereas I thought it should have been, Daryl, get the fuck in there. People are dying. Is there drugs? Did you guys get the drugs? Go, go, go."
I know, it was so funny.
I almost feel like they shot something that showed that and the episode was too long, so they took it out or something. They do that, they have to take things out
of order
every time.
all the time.
Not only out of order, but they shoot more than they have time for.
Yeah, I agree. Nigel writes, "Do not Google Walking Dead or research it on Twitter. Spoilers abound. I'm so angry right now." Huh.
After I read that, I was like, "Oh, I'm glad I didn't see any of that when I was doing the news segment today."
Wow.
But be careful, I guess.
And be careful out there.
Megan says, "Unbelievable. We were dealing with a cranky, newly circumcised baby and completely forgot it was Sunday. Sigh." Megan just had her baby. Megan and Forrest from Pennsylvania.
Yeah. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Megan. Oh, newly circumcised. Yeah, that'd make any baby cranky.
I'm glad because she was writing other stuff last time and she said she was writing it in between contractions.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, really happy to hear that everything seems to have worked out all right.
Mazel tov,
good job.
Megan.
Okay, let's move on to some calls. This is Des from Fairfield.
Hey, this is Des from Fairfield, calling your podcast for the first time. I've been listening to you guys since the beginning, but I haven't called because the last time I got on the air for a podcast, it was V, and it got canceled. Anyway, I want to tell you guys you are so completely wrong about Carol. She is innocent. Well, not innocent, but she didn't kill anybody. Those were not flashbacks. Those were Rick just trying to figure out what happened. If you see him have the little fuzzy images, and it was Rick thinking, not Carol. So she might have helped pull the bodies out, but she didn't kill them. She found them after they were dead. And about the hippie fruit couple, yeah, he is kind of creepy. I'm pretty sure that he had something to do with her dying. Well, hope in a couple of weeks you guys will see that you're completely wrong, I'm completely right, and that's that. Don't get bit.
Wow.
Okay, you're right. Yeah. I totally changed my thinking on it.
Hang on. We did give ourselves a possible out that it may not have been
5%. Yeah.
Yeah. We gave ourselves a
He
window.
wants us to switch that over to 100. Kind of like I was with you a couple weeks ago. Okay. This is, I can't make out the name, but from Louisiana.
Hey, Jake, again, this is Kevin Johnson, calling from Louisiana, and I just want to say, episode 5 was a freaking awesome episode, man. I mean, Grand Game 6, everything that happened in the prison with the walkers, the fence being torn down. This was better than the pilot, and this was my favorite episode of the series. I love it so much. Thank you. Bye.
Is that a fake accent? Fake Louisiana accent?
No, that's real. That's a real call. And I am right there with you. You pretty much summed up my whole top 5 right there. Okay, this next one is Idris from Orlando.
What up, guys? It's Idris from Orlando again. And, this episode was really awesome. It seemed to be more of a Herschel-centric episode, so I thought it was really cool. It was just awesome trying to see Herschel save everybody and keep the other people in the quarantine area from seeing him dispatch, dead bodies and stuff. I thought it was awesome. Lizzie, once again, she's freaking insane. You can see her talking to the zombie like it's a freaking dog trying to get to come, and then right before it's about to chomp on her ass, she starts screaming. I guess it's just showing her insanity. I thought it was really cool. I mean, the whole episode was awesome. I know a lot of people may complaining that it's slow and blah, 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 but this episode gave a lot of tension and a lot of action. The whole, Maggie taking it pretty, cool when Rick told her what he did with Carol was, I guess it was expected because I wouldn't want somebody who could just secretly murder people around me either. Like, obviously he told Herschel that too, because Herschel told Daryl. So I'm really, really waiting to see what what Daryl and Tyrese is going to think. I want to see their reactions. Hopefully we'll get to see that.
Yeah, I was happy that Maggie agreed with them too, just because I agreed with them. Yeah. I mean, not only that, but it's good. Like Walking Dead is so good at putting out these issues where you can argue, and I'm sure I guess Daryl won't agree. So it's good to have people within the show having these debates too. Yeah.
And hopefully it'll be something epic. I really thought they was going to kill Glenn in this episode, I was getting ready to get pissed, and also thought they were going to kill Herschel, which was going to make me mad, but they didn't. So I'm kind of happy about that. And all of a sudden, the end was good. It was bittersweet for me. The reason why it was bittersweet, all of a sudden the governor shows up. Those zombies around to attack him. Mm-hmm. Granted, I guess they just dispatched that whole group that was around the prison. But he's just standing there. I mean, Michonne and Daryl, who's like an A+ tracker, all of a sudden just loses track of the governor, and the trail went cold, but all of a sudden he's right in front of the prison. But then again, I also know that something, especially watching the next episode trailer or whatever, it's going to be something freaking epic though with him there. Everybody predicted it. He was probably going to show up before the mid-season finale. And by the way, mid-season finale suck. Fuck that. Anyways, this was awesome. This episode was awesome, and you guys are awesome. So I'm looking forward to your next podcast. See you guys later.
No, you're awesome.
Thanks for calling in, man. Yeah, I guess, I don't know. I don't have a hard time. I actually have a hard time believing that Daryl can track everything so well all the time, but it made sense to me that they would lose the governor's trail.
Sure. Everybody, nobody can be on top of it every single time.
Not even Daryl Dixon?
Not even Daryl Dixon.
Okay, so let's see here. I put a question up on Facebook. Said they've been called walkers, geeks, skin eaters, and lots more. My word for them is Zeds. What's yours? And we got a few. They said assholes, undead Americans, just good old zombies, walkers, always walkers, meat bags, moving targets, ghouls, because it's what the original Night of the Living Dead called them, grumblers, red shirts, entertainment, Nick, lame brains, zombs, skinwalkers, your mom, and I heard zombies call them
nice zombie sound.
That's good.
That's hilarious.
All right, that's it for Listen Moans, Groans, and Grunts. Let's move on to next week on The Walking Dead.
All right, next week on The Walking Dead, it's episode 6, and the title is Live Bait. It is written by Nicole Beatty, who has lots of producer credits, but Nicole also wrote Home, season 3, episode 10, when Rick sees Lori, Phantom Lori, going kind of nutty, and Sick, which is season 3, episode 2. Remember, that's the one where Herschel's dying right after his footectomy. So it should be great. She's written some good episodes, so I'm looking forward to it. It's directed by a guy named Michael Uppendahl. He's directed lots of, he's never directed The Walking Dead before, but he has directed lots of a little show called American Horror Story and another little show called Mad Men.
Nice.
I know. Michael Uppendahl.
Awesome.
So the description of the episode is: a familiar face returns as each member of the group struggles to find his or her humanity in a world of constant threats. Wow.
It's called Live Bait, right?
That could be any episode at all. And it's funny, I watched the little Next Week on The Walking Dead.
Yeah, wait. Before you say it, what you're about to say. So the rest of this will be a little bit more spoilery than what you've heard so far.
This
so
part,
we're gonna
though,
talk
is
about
not...
next week.
What I'm going to say now is not spoilery at all. It's just...
If it tells that next week is going to be about a certain character, then it's spoilery.
Oh, okay. Well, all right. Then it is a little spoilery.
Okay.
And it's about a character and an undead character. So the governor sits by fire. A zombie in a dress shambles up and walks right into the fire. Zombies are so stupid.
Well, I watched... I tried to see that one again, but there was a sneak peek on AMC, and it was a little longer, and it showed the governor and his two henchmen driving away right after he killed all the Woodburyans. And Daniel Thomas May, who is Alan, was laying there dead. And then, that makes me think that this whole thing will just be a flashback showing what's happened with the governor up until now. And later it shows him sitting by that campfire, but it looked different. I don't know if it was a different scene or what, but the zombie's crawling up to him and growling, and he doesn't move, like he's just going to let it eat him. And then Martinez shoots it. So it's like he's just kind of wigged out and like, oh my God, what just happened, you know? So I think that next week, I think it's going to be all governor flashback episode.
Interesting. Good. I hope so.
Yeah. Me too. That sounds good. So the last few episodes have been Internment was the last one. Before that, we had Infected, Isolation, and Indifference. All I words. I think maybe that the next week is Live Bait, and then Dead Weight, which rhymes, and then Too Far Gone. So I wonder if that was like an arc, those I words.
Yeah,
you know? Let's name all the ones about the sickness I for some reason.
Interestingly, internment had nothing to do with interns.
No, but it was, I looked that up. It means confinement.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't know. So I just have a couple things from an interview. I was going to put this in the news section, but it related more to next week. So it's an interview on Entertainment Weekly with David Morrissey talking about upcoming stuff with the governor. So I thought I'd put it in this section. So they ask, well, sir, a very ominous reentry onto the show as we see the governor spying on the prison. This guy just cannot let it go, can he? He says, and as I said before, this could be considered a bit spoilery. So if you don't like spoilers, you should move on to the next section. But he says he's looking for safety, and the main thing for the prison is it's the safe place to be. It's the alternative of our world in the zombie apocalypse. The prison is a place of protection, not a place of incarceration, so that's why he's looking at it. They say, so it's not a personal vendetta? He says he's looking at the building, I would suggest, rather than the people in it, although the people in it are an inconvenience because they're in his way of getting safety. But it's more about the building than the people. I don't know if I believe him.
Yeah.
But it's interesting. Then let's see. You know, they say we're going to finally find out what the governor's been up to, and basically he's confirming that we're going to see flashback stuff.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm looking forward to that.
Okay. Yeah, that's good. He goes on and on. But if you want to read the rest of that, go to Entertainment Weekly. Okay. You ready to close it out?
I'm ready.
All right. That's our show, episode 120. Thank you for listening, everybody.
Thanks, everybody.
Wanted to remind you about the podcast awards. Have you heard, Karen, our entreaties that I've been audio
Some
thing?
of them. I heard them when they were being recorded.
Okay. Well, this one is from, I put it out a couple days ago. It's from the Governator. Okay, here we go.
Listen to me now and hear me later. Go to podcastawards.com and vote for the Walking Dead cast. Your favorite podcast. Do it. Come on. Do it now. I am here. Vote. What are you waiting for? It's produced in California.
That's hilarious.
So thank you, Governator.
Thanks, Arnold.
So anyways, I just wanted to remind, first of all, thank you guys who've been voting for us every day. It's such a, God, I hate this process, but maybe it's kind of fun. It's been fun for me to come up with little poems and things on Facebook to remind you guys to vote, and I really appreciate you doing that. And there's just a few more days left, so if you haven't done it yet, please go to podcastawards.com and vote for us for entertainment and best produced category.
I liked the baby goat.
Yeah, I should do more cute things, huh?
Yes.
That seemed to get a lot of response.
Yes.
Okay. So noted. So if you would like to leave us a message, you can call us at 650-485-DEAD. That's 650-485-3323.
You can email us at brains@walkingdeadcast.com.
You can check out our website at walkingdeadcast.com. And the holiday season is approaching quickly. Some would say it's here. So please, when you go to Amazon to get all your presents, go through our link at walkingdeadcast.com.